OhNo Robo.
Action games. I love them. I love the way they let me turn off my brain just enough to revel in the bombastic violence that I'm causing on screen. I love the way they test my reflexes and give me that sense of satisfaction every time I clear another wave of enemies. It's serious gaming nirvana for me, and I'm always pumped to play them. The Devil May Cry series is one of the best around if you're looking for a worthy action game to challenge your thumbs. And this latest offering from Capcom and developer Ninja Theory is one of the best titles yet. Dubbed DMC, this Devil May Cry reboot has been subject to some serious scrutiny by purists and fans of the Devil May Cry legacy as well. When the title was first revealed about 2 years ago, fans were already slamming it for its new direction, its new developer, and of course there was and still is the whole, "Oh my god, Dante looks so emo now. What the hell? Where's his super awesome white hair? This is totally gonna ruin my cosplay at Comic-Con this year." More on that later though. No, I'm not one to knock a game for changing it up a little bit if things are starting to get stale. So I was eager to see if the folks at Ninja Theory could pull it off, and man, did they ever. So let's start with the obvious first question here. Is it anything like the other games in the series? Well, there are a few differences that distinguish it from the others. One of the biggest is definitely the shift from 60 frames per second down to 30. No doubt, a decision to make the game as graphically polished as possible. Fans were still a bit worried if the game would play the same way if it were slowed down. After all, the previous games ran incredibly smooth and hardly ever slowed down no matter how much carnage was on the screen. Honestly, after playing the game for about 5 minutes, I barely noticed anything. It runs so smoothly and it looks so colorful and pretty, you'll probably be too busy picking your jaw up off the floor to notice if it's really that slow, and it really isn't anyway. Secondly, what's up with the new Dante? Yeah, I know the hair is different, but if that's your only gripe, the game will satisfy you in that regard later. The Dante in this game is much different than the Dante we've grown to love over the years. He's younger this time than we've ever seen him before. He's still brash and he's still headstrong, but he's got a dirtier mouth and he's much more arrogant. He talks smack to almost every enemy he faces, and it's surprisingly not that annoying. It actually makes you feel more confident about the battle you're about to go into, because Dante comes off as though nothing can stop him. It makes him more of a badass, and you'll feel like one too while you're controlling him. This Dante is as awesome as ever and leaves nothing to be desired. He's still fast, he's still strong as hell, and he kicks all manner of ass. If you wrote the game off because of the way the new Dante looks and you're not willing to give the game a chance because of that, then let me just say this to you. Quit your bitchin' and get over it, because you're missing out on a great game over petty bullshit.
You're not coming in. You're not on the list. I am now.
Alright, now that I've gotten that off my chest, let's get into the gameplay. The game's campaign is set up in chapters, and the finer details of the reimagined story are revealed as you go. This version has Dante going up against Mundus, the demon CEO. Yeah, I don't want to spoil much in my reviews, but you'll be interested to know that Mundus isn't some one-note demon bad guy in this game. He's got bigger plans to take over the world, and his methods are actually kind of clever. For a game like this anyway. Dante is sought out by a new character named Cat, a human with the ability to see into limbo, and a mysterious leader of a resistance group. Okay, it's Virgil. Come on, you knew he was going to be in the game, so don't act like I spoiled anything for you. Anyway, he's sought out to help Virgil and Cat take down Mundus, and that's all you really need to know. Along the way, you'll unlock new power-ups that Dante can use to help him find more creative ways to turn his enemies into a fine, bloody paste. You can switch between these weapons on the fly with the D-pad in the middle of combat, and once you get the hang of it, you can really get creative with your battle methods. The game still uses the combo rating that rewards you for how stylishly you fight. If you keep using the same weapon constantly in battle, your rating will start to drop. If you want a higher rating, it forces you to become a better fighter and helps you to increase your overall skill. It makes the action on screen look chaotically beautiful, and I came away from every fight with a smirk on my face because of that. Later in the game, you'll unlock Dante's Devil Trigger mode, which turns him into his demon form. After activating Devil Trigger, you'll turn into an invincible powerhouse and you'll be able to tear into your enemies with no problem. While in Devil Trigger, Dante also regenerates his health, so it's useful if you get into a hectic situation and you need something to turn the tide in your favor. The game rewards you for aerial combat while you're in Devil Trigger, so it's best to keep Dante off of the ground after activating. Actually, one detail I did notice is that the more you use Devil Trigger, Dante starts to get little splotches of white in his hair. It's a cool detail and makes you feel like you're watching Dante grow into the character that we all know and love. The game offers the standard difficulty modes, but after completing it, you'll unlock modes that are higher in difficulty. The standard difficulty isn't that bad, but let me tell you, if you want a real challenge, then this game has you covered. The highest difficulty mode that you can unlock not only increases the health of enemies by a staggering margin, it makes it so that if you take one hit, you die, and it's game over. If you were worried about missing out on a challenge with this game, then you can rest easy. The power-ups that you earn can be carried through to any previous mission, so once you save up enough points and level Dante up all the way, you'll probably have an easier time with the higher difficulty set. Overall, the game can be mindless fun on the lower settings and ball-crushingly hard on the higher ones. It's a nice mix, and it works for any kind of player. You can also unlock new skins for Dante, as well as for his weapons, giving you a bit more incentive to play through the game if you're into that sort of thing. The game is just flat out fun anyway, so you should find yourself enjoying the journey if you're going for unlockables. On the negative side, there are a few sections of the game that can get a bit tedious and take you out of the action. They serve their purpose for the story, but overall they make a game that's all about action seem to drag a little bit. Secondly, the final battle with Mundus was a bit of a letdown. I won't spoil it with any footage here, but trust me when I say that it's nowhere near as challenging as it could have been, and I pretty much breezed right through it. Overall, it is a solid game, but I did notice a few issues with screen tearing and sound cutouts during game loads on the PS3 version of the game. The Xbox 360 version I played had neither of those issues, so if you own both systems and you're not sure which one you want to pick up, then I'd recommend going with the Xbox 360 version. Now, both versions are still fantastic overall, and there aren't any issues that are glaring enough to deter you from picking it up either way. I guess that's the best I can do for you in this review without spoiling anything major. If you've been on the fence about diving into this Devil May Cry reboot, then I hope I've given you some food for thought. Rest assured, Capcom has entrusted Devil May Cry to worthy hands over at Ninja Theory, and I honestly can't wait to see a sequel. If you're a fan of the games, then after you play it, you'll probably be hoping for the same. Turn off your brain and have some fun. This is Patrick with OhNoRobo Reviews and GotGame.com saying, take care and see you next time.